Do you struggle to keep your paperwork organized? Do you have mail like this everywhere or that piles up in different rooms in your home? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to reduce paperwork and process all of this mail that comes into your home. Hi, I'm professional organizer Katherine Lawrence. I help you live a life with less clutter so you can make space for the things that truly matter. So I'm going to do a great exercise with you guys today, which is sorting through a big pile of mail. I'm going to tell you guys how I process my own mail and some tips and tricks for you to reduce the amount of papers even coming into your home and how to sort your mail efficiently. So let's get started. So a couple of tools that you're going to want to have handy are a letter opener. I also like to have a utility knife or a box cutter to open some of the packages that come in. And I'm also going to use some sticky notes. So before we get started, I want you to keep in mind that there's really only 3 things that you can do with the papers when you're opening your mail. And this is based on Barbara Hemphill's FAT system, F-A-T. F stands for filing, A stands for action, and T stands for toss. So we're going to be making a couple of piles as we're going through the papers here. If there is something that I need to take action on, like a form I have to sign or something that needs my attention, maybe a bill that has to be paid or a phone call I need to make, I'm going to put that in my action pile. Now, I can tell you before I even get into this that most of the papers here, most of the mail will go into the T category, which is trash. But I'm going to break that down into some smaller groups. I'm going to have a shred pile, a recycle pile, and then an actual trash pile, which will probably be the smallest pile that I make out of that category. And in the filing category, I'm going to have any paperwork that I need to keep. It may be something I need to keep for tax purposes or some type of medical record. There's usually very little of this in, when I go through my mail. Most of it, like I said, I can tell you already is going to be recycle or shred. But there may be a couple of gems in here, something that I actually want to keep for reference later, and I'm going to put those in their own category. So remember FAT, F-A-T. Let's dive in. Now, as I'm looking through the mail, one thing that I found is a credit card bill. Now, I am a big advocate for getting bills online and in digital form. So this is a card that I hadn't used for a long time and I recently used it. They've sent me a paper bill. So what I'm going to do is actually put this in my action category, and I'm going to put a sticky note on it with the action I want to take, which is to remind myself to go onto their website, which I already have a login for because I pay this bill through their website, and tell them to turn off paper statements. I do not want any paper statements coming to my home. So I'm going to label this and remind myself to do that. Now, one tip that I have for you guys about eliminating junk mail is to use an app called Paper Karma. And this is an app you have on your phone, and it's really easy to use. And what you do is when you get a piece of unsolicited junk mail, you take a picture with your phone, and Paper Karma will contact the merchant and ask to have your address removed from their list. So I want to give you a quick tip about shredding and what to shred and what not to shred. So I always shred information that has your social security number on it, that has a bank account or open bank account. And something that I've noticed that some of my customers do is they want to take their address off all of the mail because they don't want their address associated with the mail, and then they want to shred or destroy this little piece of paper. I want to show you a much faster way to do that. Now, you don't have to do this. This is absolutely your choice, but I have noticed that some clients want to do this, and I certainly honor that choice to, if that's a choice they want to make to protect their identity. But I want to show you a much faster way to do it. And that is to get one of these stamps. It's an identity theft stamp. You can look it up on Amazon or get one from your local office supply store like Staples, and it will black out the information on your mail. So the way this works is you still want to open your envelope if your address is printed on the inside piece of paper. And then you just stamp the page, and then it looks like this. And that's just a really quick way to black out any personal information. You can also black out account numbers or just anything on that mail that you don't want someone to see. And it's a lot faster than shredding all of your mail if there's just a little piece of information that you want to keep private. Now, I've got a pretty big stack of mail that I'm going through here. This actually for me represents about 2 weeks of mail because I don't have my mail delivered to my house. It goes to a mailbox, and I actually kind of like that because I don't need a little bit of mail trickling in every day, something for me to deal with. So if you can have your mail sent to a mailbox, that might work for you as well. So let's talk about those credit card offers. Now, I had actually contacted the credit bureaus, which you can do as well. I'll put that information up on the screen. You can contact the this number or go on this website and have the credit bureaus not share your information with creditors. So I had actually eliminated all of these credit card offers and offers for mortgage refinance, and I really didn't see any of those coming through. And then about a year ago, I refinanced my house, and maybe 6 months ago opened a credit card. Well, that must have gotten our names, me and my husband's names, back on these lists. And I've noticed they've started to pile up again. I do like to shred the application part because, you know, I wouldn't want someone opening a line of credit in our names without us knowing that. So this is going to be something I'm going to pop into the shredder. But that triggers to me that it's time again for me to opt out from getting solicitation through the credit bureaus. Okay, so I'm just wrapping up here, and as I predicted, all of this is just recycling. Now, for me, this actually represents about 2 weeks of mail, but I certainly have clients who get this much on a very regular basis. Now, I usually open my mail downstairs closer to the front door, and that allows me to be closer to the recycle bin and to my shredder. So I don't normally bring it up here into my office. I'm just doing this so I have better lighting and to kind of show you guys what the process of sorting through mail and paperwork would look like. So this is my big recycle pile. If I was downstairs, I would just be doing this right over top of the recycle bin since I know that's where most of it is going. Now, this is a big stack of mail that doesn't belong to me. It actually belongs to my father. So I will be delivering that to him. Of the things that I decided to keep, I have a renewal for car insurance. Now, a lot of insurance companies are allowing you to see this or view these policies online. So I'm going to put this in my action pile to see if my company allows me to do that. I only get this every 6 months, and I scan it so that I do have a copy of my policy, and then I keep the most recent card in my car, and sometimes one in my wallet as well. So my action item for this is to put that in my car and either scan this document or see if I can find it online. My other action item was to turn on paper statements for this bill. I have one other bill. This is an action item. It's a medical bill, so they sent it to me in paper form. I'm going to be doing a separate video on how to organize your medical paperwork. So be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can be alerted when that comes out. But this is it. Out of all of that stack, these are the only things that are going to require action on my part. So my advice to you is to open your mail over a trash or recycle bin so that you can process the bulk of it very quickly. Try to reduce the amount of mail you're getting by using an app like Paper Karma and getting bills delivered to you electronically. Use your blackout stamper for identity theft protection. You can also shred, but this is very handy and sometimes a lot faster. And remember, there are only 3 things that you can do with a piece of paper. You can file it so you can reference it later. You can eliminate it altogether, or it's something that you need to take action on. And I always recommend that when you're going through a big pile of paper, to put things into those 3 categories. So my question to you is, what is your biggest complaint about trying to sort mail and keep your papers organized? Put your answer in the comments below and subscribe to my channel for more videos on downsizing, minimizing, decluttering, and the business of organizing. I'll see you next time.